Hi everyone, this is Heidi from HB Paper Crafts. It is Tuesday, January 28th, 2020. Welcome to this week's Facebook Live. Not live. I couldn't be in two places at once tonight, so I decided I would pre-record this Tuesday Live for you. So I have a couple of things I wanted to share with you before we get started on tonight's project. First is I still have this Peaceful Poppies Class to Go special going on that I'm offering. So use this host code and purchase the Peaceful Poppies stamp set by February 2nd, which is this Sunday, and I'll send you all the supplies to make these projects. So in this little clamshell box here is one of the projects that's going to come in this Class to Go. I have this fancy fold card here, and then we have this really cute poppy card, happy birthday card as well. So you're actually going to get these for free in the mail just for ordering this stamp set using this code by February 2nd. The only thing you'll have to supply is your ink and of course the stamp set and any adhesive. You're going to get everything else in the mail in the kit. The ribbon, the bling, everything, the die cuts, I'm going to do all that for you. And so there is that. Next, if you use this host code by midnight, February 2nd, for your $50 or more order, you're actually going to be entered into the drawing to win the Little Lady stamp set. Let me show you I think this is the card that I've used, the Little Lady here, there, cute little ladybug card. So you're going to be entered into the drawing to win that stamp set with your $50 order using this host code by February 2nd at midnight. Typically the Little Lady stamp set is only one that you can get for hosting a $300 or more party, or for having a $300 or more order yourself. So it's really kind of a cute. I couldn't put my hands on the stamp set, but there it is, the Little Ladybug stamp set. So you're going to be entered into the drawing to win that stamp set. So all that being said, you could put in your $50 order using this host code, and if your order includes Peaceful Poppies, you're going to get that free Class to Go. You're going to be entered into the drawing to win that Little Ladybug stamp set, and you'll also be eligible for a free celebration item out of the celebration flyer. So all these products in here, they have a lot of great products, card kits, stamp sets, all kinds of different stuff in here. So you'll be eligible for one of those as well. So it's kind of a great little deal. All right, so let's create. This is just going to be a quick video tonight. I have a project for you using the Modern Heart stamp set. Now this is one that may not have jumped right out at you in the catalog, but it did me. I love the phrases and the fonts in this stamp set. I've made several cards with it. Here's one actually that I made, and I cased it right out of the catalog. You're my person, and colored the heart with my blends. There, just it's really a cute set. So it's in the catalog on page 51 in the catalog. Here's the Modern Heart stamp set. It's got really cute phrases. It's got a thank you, I just love you, you're in my heart, you're my person, you're in my thoughts and in my heart, and so happy for you. And it's got these like watercolor pieces to the stamp set as well. Okay, so the project that we're going to make tonight is this cute little matchbox gift box. You could put all kinds of things in it. It actually perfectly fits a gift card. So this one happens to be a Dunkin' Donuts gift card. But you could put, you could put a gift card and some little treats or something in there. You could use it for all kinds of stuff because it's actually a good size little box there. All right, so this is what we're going to make. So to start off, you need 2 pieces of cardstock. I am using basic gray, and so actually these you're going to use basically 1 piece of cardstock. There is very little this is what we have left after you've cut out these pieces. So there's very little waste. You're going to use 1 full sheet of cardstock. The pieces measure 6.5 by 8 and then 4 by 7 3/4. And then you need 2 pieces of Whisper White. So this piece is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4, and then 1/2 by 3 3/4. Alright, so we're going to start with the 6.5 by 8 piece of the basic gray. I'm going to get out my scoreboard here. And these are pretty easy measurements to remember. You're going to do the same on all 4 sides. So it doesn't really matter which side you start on. We're going to score at 1 inch and 2 inches on all 4 sides. So I'm going to do 1. I'm going to do 2. I'm going to turn it. I'm going to do 1, 2, so pretty easy measurements to remember. Just the 1 and the 2 all the way around. So then you have your little grid there. Hopefully you can see that. And that's it. That's all there is for scoring. Put my little scoreboard away here. So now I'm going to take out my scissors. And we don't need most of this down here. So I'm going to show you what it is that we need. We're going to cut all the way up to the second score line there. All the way up to the second score line there. And then we're just going to cut off here. I don't like those scissors, I guess. Let's go with my snips. They're just more precise. We're going to cut off here. And then we're going to indent that a little bit. As I've told you, when I'm making boxes, I like to just cut myself out a little piece. Just makes putting the box together a little easier. And I left a little hanging on there. So there we go. Alright, so we're going to do that on all 4 sides here. So we're going to cut up. And you can just go at an angle right here and be done with it. Then we're going to cut these off. And we're going to go to the other side. It's actually a pretty simple box to put together. It looks difficult with all these score lines, but it's really not. I didn't go very straight on that one, so let's fix it. There we go. Okay, so there's that. Let me pick up my little mess over here. Alright, so there's what we end up with after we get all of our score lines marked. So the next thing I'm going to do is, you see this little drawer pull here, makes it easier to get a hold of the drawer when you're going to pull it out. I'm going to determine which side is going to be that. So I'm just going to fold this in half right here. And I'm taking, this is just a 1/2 inch hole punch that I had. You don't want this too big because when you go to glue in the flaps, you're going to see them, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. So I'm just going to center this. I'm going to center this on my little side there, and I'm going to take probably just about half of it. Wow, goodness. And you could do this with a die too. You could run this through your die cut machine, whatever die cut machine you have. And because I'm on video, this wants to be difficult. So let's try again. There we go. I just had to get it where I could get some pressure on it, I guess. And that's just a contraband punch. It's an old punch that I had. But if you had a smaller Stampin' Up! One, you could try that as well. So then you just take a little bite out of that end there. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to burnish all of our score lines here. Using our handy dandy bone folder. If you don't have a bone folder, you definitely need one. It's better to make sure these are all creased for you, especially when making boxes. Alright, so now to glue it together, all that we need for glue right now is going to be these 4 tabs here. And again, we're going to use our liquid glue. And we're going to glue the 4 sides up. And making sure that each of your sides is straight. You have to hold it there for a second for each one here. And then we'll do the same on this side. And this is where you want to make sure that your little tab doesn't show through right in here. See how we're gluing right up to that tab? You just want to make sure it's not showing through your little punch window there that you just punched. And you could always trim it down because you're actually not going to see these tabs. So if you needed to cut them down, you certainly could. It's just to sturdy the box. Because now what we're going to do is take these flaps that are left and we're going to glue all of them. And then those are going to be glued down. They're going to fold into the box and be glued down. And that sort of shores up your box, so as you're using it for a drawer, it's sturdy, sliding in and out when you pull on it. Okay, so I'm going to start on this side. I'm going to go over here without getting glue all over myself. And we're going to go here. And if you need to use your bone folder to push it down in the corners, you can. So there we go. There's the drawer of our little matchbox. So to create the outside, we could score this, but in my experience, every time you score it, it doesn't quite fit the box because, of course, you could be off a little bit in your folding and your burnishing. So it could be a little bit different. So this cover could fit a little bit differently every time, and that's kind of hard to explain without seeing what I mean. But the way that I like to do it is I'll just start with the cover halfway on the bottom. I'm going to hold my box, I'm going to fold it here, and I'm just going to pinch it where it needs to be, where it needs to go. Then I'm going to go to the next side, I'm going to fold it, and I'm going to pinch it. And these don't have to be, it's just giving you a mark, because I'm going to show you afterwards. We're going to fold it and burnish it. So I'm going to fold it and pinch it here. And then I'm going to go here and do the same all the way around. So then we can take our cover that we just made and we can use those fold lines and now the cover is measured exactly to the box. And that's a personal preference. You could certainly measure these out and try to make those the same and have them pre-scored. For me, it just didn't seem to work that way for me. Box always seems to be a different dimension. Alright, so now we're going to wrap it around our drawer again. And we're just going to glue it together. So this flap just needs a little bit of glue on the end. You don't want to do the whole thing because the whole thing's not covered. It overlaps by probably about ½ inch. And there we go. So there we go. There's our little box. So now we're going to take our 2 pieces of the Whisper White DSP, and now we're going to do our stamping. So I have the basic gray ink here. Let me get a scrap paper. And I'm going to use the big heart first, this geometric heart here. And I'm going to stamp it. I stamped it just sort of not sideways, but tilted a little bit on my little page there. And then while I have this color, we're going to use the smaller piece, the 1/2 inch by 3 3/4. And we're going to ink up our stamp. So this stamp is actually, I wanted a long stamp because of the way that I liked the way it looked on the box. So I actually did not use one that was in the stamp set. You could use this So Happy For You and you would probably get, you know, relatively the same. But I ended up taking out this Peaceful Moments phrases stamp set from the new mini catalog. And I'm using Life Is Better With a Friend Like You out of that stamp set. And I'm going to stamp it towards the left of my little paper because we're going to notch, or we're going to just cut off the ends there. So then we're done with the basic gray. And for this little tag, all I did is I took it from the corner and I just went up like that. So there's our tag. So for the heart, I'm going to take out my So Saffron ink. You can see I just inked it up not too long ago here. And we're going to ink up the watercolor. It's sort of like a squiggle wash, I guess. We're going to ink up the stamp, and then I wanted it lighter, so I'm actually going to stamp it off, and then I'm going to stamp it right over my heart, like that. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to ink it up, stamp it off, and I'm going to flip my stamp over. I'm going to do it again on the other side. So there we go. So now it's just sort of like a squiggly wash over the whole thing. Okay, so we're done with our scrap paper. So next out of this set, I'm going to take, there's 2 little hearts. There's another little geometric heart and then a little solid heart there. So we're going to use that a couple of times. And I stamped one here and one down here. And then we're going to use the solid heart and stamp that a few times as well. Alright, and I wanted these little smaller hearts to sort of be colored in a little bit more just so that they stood out. So I'm going to take my blender pen and some of the So Saffron ink, and I'm just going to lightly go around the whole heart and fill it in a little bit more. Make it a little bit darker so that it stands out a little bit from the other ones. Here we go. Go ahead and clean that off. Now it's ready for the next color that we use. Okay, so there's that. So now this piece is going to get glued onto the top of our box. And I'm just going to use the liquid glue. Like that. I have our white crinkle seam binding, and I'm going to give myself just a little bit of extra here, and I'm going to wrap it around the box. I'm actually going to wrap it around twice, and then I'm going to go back to that spot and give myself a little bit extra like that, and we're going to tie a bow. I love this crinkle seam binding, but right about this time of year, it's actually very staticky. Alright, so we're going to go up here. Sorry, I pulled that right out of frame there. And we are going to use all available fingers. Stick your tongue out if you have to. And we're going to tie this in a bow. I lied. I lost it. You know, bow making is never as hard as when you're trying to record yourself doing it. Okay, so there's that. And I don't want it too big. So there we go. Now we're just going to trim off the ends. And I'm going to take my Life is Better with a Friend Like You, and I'm going to put it on some dimensionals. So you'll need a couple of dimensionals. And that's just going to go right here and off the end a little bit. So there's that. So last but not least, I of course wanted to add a little bling. You can see we added a little sparkle on there. So I chose to use our iridescent sequin assortment, which is in the back of the catalog with the all the embellishments. And they are super cute. I have had this set of them for, I don't know, quite a long time. They go forever. Unless you use them for like shaker cards, you could certainly do that. And I'm just going to add 3 little dots wherever I decide I want one. So 3 little dots of the liquid glue to add the sequins, and that's. And then I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. We're going to use the putty end. Guess that piece was dried up a little bit. So we're going to use the putty end of the Take Your Pick tool, and I'm just going to pick out 3 of them. And I used the yellow ones, of course, the ones that are the matching my ink. You could use whatever you wanted, but let's see, what size do I want here? Let's get another one this size. And there you go. So we can use the other end and just sort of press them down in. Like that. So let's throw the cover on this. And there we have it. There's our little Matchbox gift box. Would be good for all sorts of uses. Like I said, it does fit a little gift card in there nicely. You could put some gift card and some chocolates. You could switch this up and make it for Valentine's Day and put all kinds of different treats in there. All sorts of stuff will fit in this little Matchbox gift box. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's project. Sorry that I couldn't be here live, but I hope that you will recreate it, and I always love to see your creations, so please post them so that I can check them out if you do recreate it. If you like this video, go ahead and share it or like it or comment. That always helps us out in the Facebook world to have people interact with our posts so that it can be seen by others. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you have a great evening. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.